Hi YouTube, so it's JJ. So I thought it was due time to make a video and talk about my Shelby, my boxer who I lost in December. I made a tribute video for her, and but I never really talked about what happened, and I thought it was important to talk about it because it was kind of so sudden that we lost her. So many of you guys follow me, and you started following my YouTube channel originally from when I started making my dog videos because 4 years ago she had a litter and she gave birth to 7 beautiful boxers, white and fawn, and they were CKC registered, and so they were beautiful boxers that I had, and I sold them all to wonderful families. And actually every so often, I think the first 2 years I got pictures, which was pretty cool. So yeah, but this Christmas time was very sad because we lost her, and it was really sudden that she just passed away, and so my heart was really heavy. And I did it, like I said, I did a tribute video for her to honor her, but I didn't talk about it, so I want to talk about it because I think it's important to know. Like, we don't really know. I'm going to try to make a long story short. My daughter was working at Disney, and I went to go pick her up because she got off at, I think it was like 9-ish in the evening or whatever. And my dog was doing great. She looked good. Other than just growing old, she didn't show any signs of any sicknesses or anything like that. She did, however, have a small little lump in the back or somewhere on the top of her head that we weren't sure what it was, and we were going to take her to the vet, but of course she didn't make it enough time, so we don't know if that was the cause. We don't know what it was. All I do know is I got a phone call as I was waiting in the parking lot to pick up my daughter, and my husband was like, no, actually my daughter was frantic, crying, and just like, oh my God, you know, Shelby, she's not waking up. She's like, looks like she had a seizure or something. She's on the kitchen floor. She passed out. She's not coming through. So of course I was panicked because I'm like 20, 30 minutes away from the house, so I can't get there right away. And when I left, she was fine. Like, if I could describe her personality, she was happy and go-lucky. Shelby, how she's always been, just very loving. And, you know, like I said, other than getting old and wanting to sleep, I never picked up anything different about her. So, excuse me, I'm a little congested. But anyway, so in trying to get my daughter, we ended up staying there for a very long time, and I was trying to get her out of work. And in that time frame from when I had to drive from her job back home, Shelby died. And she died in my husband's arms. Of course, all my kids witnessed this, and it was very traumatic for them. And she lied on the kitchen floor for about, I don't know, 2 hours before we actually moved her, because I had wanted to see her. I didn't want to just like come home and like, I don't know. It was just it was such a horrible day. Like, I lost my best friend. I lost one of my kids that day. I lost a very huge part of my heart the day that she died. So I was everybody was emotional. Everybody cried, and everybody was very sad. And I don't want to cry now. I'm going to try not to cry. But it was a very sad day, and so it was hard because when I walked in the house, I knew she was in the kitchen, but I didn't want to look. And actually, I don't know if you can see, but my kitchen's over there, so the front door is over here. So when I walked in, I was like, I didn't want to look right away. I wanted to go in, kind of gather myself, and then I went to the kitchen and I saw her lying there, lifeless, just like I can't even describe it. Like, your dog is so full of life, and all of a sudden they're lifeless, and they're just laying there like they never existed, like just a body. And then she was not cold or nothing like that. She was still pretty warm, so because she had just died, so she didn't go into rigor mortis or any of that. She was still, you know, you could still touch her. So I held her and I hugged her and I loved her and I kissed her and I said my goodbyes. Everybody cried. My kids were crying. My husband was crying. I was crying. I mean, it was just horrible. I think the worst part about the whole thing was having to put her in the car. Because you just don't think about stuff like that. You're like, okay, my dog died, and we're renting this house, so I didn't want to bury her back here because I knew that we would leave. So for me, I just didn't want to bury her here and leave her here when I had her since she was 6 weeks. But a little bit about Shelby, though, before she died. I bought her at 6 weeks from a breeder. She was the best dog ever. Like, she was like a little human. She was like a person. She knew, like, when I was sick. She knew when I was sad. She knew when I was happy. Everything that you could experience in life was like this dog experienced. I mean, she was just, wouldn't you say, Destiny? She was just like a person. That's my daughter back there, but wasn't she just like a person? Yeah. She was just like she was like your sister, like a friend, like I mean, I'm just telling you, this dog was amazing. She was by far the best dog I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm going to show you a quick picture of her. Oh, and I would say that taking her at 6 weeks would be a big, huge part of why she was such a good dog. Because when they're 6 weeks, you can mold them to your family style. When you get them at 8 and 10 weeks, they start to develop their own personality. But at 6 weeks, you can really mold them to how your family style was. So we were very laid back. She was very laid back. She was not a hyper dog running around, tearing up anything. She was just great, obedient, and she knew when to tell us when she had the potty. She picked up everything quick. She was just a smart, great dog. If you've never owned a boxer, you've got to get a boxer. I don't think you will ever do another dog once you own a boxer. So here's my Shelby. I'm just going to put a picture up real quick. That's my baby girl. And in this picture, my daughter was pretty young. So Shelby was probably maybe 6 years old in this picture. She died at 10 years old. So in doggy world, that would have been 77 years old. So isn't it 7 years for every year? Is dog year, something like that? I don't know. So yeah, so she was a beautiful boxer with beautiful markings and just my best friend. So I was very heartbroken when I lost her. So we decided to have her cremated. And so I had this beautiful box done. But but going back to when your dog dies, you don't want to bury them. It's really, I don't even have it for words. It's like, who do you call at 9 o'clock at night to come get your dog, or where do you take them? Like, I never thought about those things because I always thought she'd be around. I never gave any thought to the fact that one day we'd lose her. And yeah, so it was crazy because we had to call a vet. And luckily we found a place here in Winter Haven. It was a very nice veterinarian, and they cremated her, and I got this little certificate of cremation, basically. It says the day she was cremated, which was December 19th. Because she died December 15th, but they had to have her in the freezer and hold her before they could pick her up and have her cremated. And it was just, I have pictures of all that too. I took pictures of her because I don't know. I wasn't ready to say bye. So I'm going to show you my cedar box. So it's a pretty big box actually, and it's really heavy. I didn't realize my baby girl was so big, but yeah, so here she is, Shelby. And I put her here, and I have her a little display here in my house that I keep her in, and my baby girl. I love her so much. So, yeah. I wanted to add, too, that I wasn't sure what killed my dog. I will say this. Recently, my sister had been telling me, and friends had been telling me about the baneful food. And we had been giving Shelby baneful because I'm also a couponer. So I had gotten some great deals on the baneful, and I switched her out probably for the last 6 to 8 months. She's been on it, eating it, maybe more so than 8 months. And I remember she did have a seizure before she actually passed away, and it was just so sudden. Like, this was in our old house before we moved into this house. She just was at the stairs and then collapsed and started seizing, and she came through. So we were so blessed that she came through, but that was a scary moment too. And I believe that what she had here was probably another seizure, and it just, this time it killed her. So we heard a lot about the whole baneful food and all the contents that are being put in there, how some dogs died. I don't know, but she was doing good before, I mean, and now looking at the side effects and some of the symptoms that they had, my dog had a lot of that. Sometimes she was very lethargic. She did have the runs and then the 2 seizures. So I don't know if the baneful food killed her, but all I can say is I still have food left in my garage. Now reading that, I think that, oh my God, maybe it's a possibility that the food I was giving her could have taken her life. So I'm even more sad to think about that. So I don't know if anybody out there has had an experience with the baneful. Please inbox me. I don't know, tell me if you had any symptoms. Or if you want to talk about your dog that died. I can relate, and it was a hard time for us, and we did get a new boxer. I have a reverse sealed boxer, which is more of a chocolate brown boxer with white markings. He's stunning. Let me see if I have a picture that I can show you. I will tell you this, he drives me crazy though, because he is not like, I don't know, boys are so different from girls. If I had to do it all over again, I'd pick another girl, because boys are just, it takes a lot of time to train them, and they're just not very savvy like the girls are. The girls just get it, and the boys, it's very relatable to human life. Dogs are just like men in real life. So let me show you a picture of him. He is just beautiful. Like he's gonna be amazing, but it's not easy. Like he takes a big chunk of my time. He does drive me insane, but I do love him. It's gonna take some time with him. Oh, do I have a picture? I hope I have a picture. I thought I had a picture. I should have a picture. No. Oh. I don't think I have a picture. I thought I did. Darn it. Let me see. Oh, I don't have a picture. Excuse me, I'm so congested. Well, I have some pictures here. I gotta look through it and see what I have, so bear with me. I do have kitty cats too. Pictures of my kitty cats. But no pictures of Shelby. Ah! Okay, well. Okay, I don't have a picture. But anyway, he's gorgeous. He's just a handful. And honestly, whew, God help me, because I want to kill him sometimes. Not literally. I mean, I love him to pieces, but he's just a nightmare. And I did hear that boys. So if you guys have male boxers, and you had a challenge with your boxer, I would love to hear from you, because it is not it has not been easy with this one. He's definitely not my Shelby, and he is taking a lot of work, but I could use some pointers. So if you have a male boxer and it took you some time, everybody tells me first year is really hard, but after that he's going to be great. So I just can't wait to get past this year, because I just want to like throw in the towel, but that's not me, so I have to keep him. But anyway, please inbox me. So subscribe and share your stories. I would love to hear. I can relate to if you lost your dog. It's a hard thing. It's the dynamic in your family changes completely, and it's just really sad. So if you did lose a dog, my heart is with you. My sympathies, and don't worry, all things heal. God helps you get through it, and sometimes purchasing another dog does help heal the mourning process. It does help with the whole mourning process. So all right, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Me and Shelby want to say peace out. We love you. Shelby, you'll always be the best dog. Mwah. And yeah, boxers rule and they rock forever. All right, God bless you. Thanks for hearing my story. Bye. I love you, Shelby.